Now we're in the beautiful market town of Stamford today, filming two reviews back to back of two CCMs. This one is going to be about this CCM Bobber. A lot of you, I don't think, will have heard of CCM because they're a small British brand and they're made in England, but they produce some incredible motorcycles. So let's tell you about this Bobber.
Now, as Darcy said in the previous video about the CCM Maverick, it's been a long time coming to get a CCM on our channel because we've always liked the look of these bikes and we only tend to sort of seek bikes that we really like. So we knew pretty much based on how it looks and the specs that we've read about, we're going to like these bikes. But when we got on it, we were very surprised at how good they are because apart from sounding amazing, they go so well. They're beautiful bikes to ride. They're very crisp. They're very fast. I mean, it's only 600, but they're very light. And we'll give you the specs in a minute.
Sorry to interrupt the video, but please do make sure you subscribe. It helps us out massively. It helps us get hold of unusual bikes like this and get in touch with new manufacturers and bring you these videos. Without you guys on board, we wouldn't be standing here today. So thanks to every single one of you who's pressed subscribe, and if you haven't done, please do. It's absolutely free, so what are you waiting for? It's absolutely boiling hot, so I wanted to get some riding trousers that weren't black and weren't too thick. So I got these from XL Moto. These are Ride & Sons cargo trousers and they're a lovely colour, but they've got all the protection in. They've got the padding on the hips, on the knees, the abrasion resistance, but they're not too thick, so they're okay. On a day like this, you're still not too boiling hot. I mean, it's hot anyway, so unless I was wearing shorts, I'm still going to be hot. But at the moment, XL Moto are doing a sale on Ride & Sons gear. So if you want to check out all the amazing gear they've got on the website, click the link in the description and check it out. They've got some amazing stuff.
But because of the power to weight ratio and this sort of engine, which is quite responsive, it's a fantastic ride. It really is genuinely amazing. And these bikes also turn heads wherever you go.
Not bad, is it?
What do you do?
It's a CCM. Yeah. Do you like bikes? Yeah. I know. It is, yeah. That one is, yeah, that one you could have someone on the back. It is, yeah, same engine, same frame. CCM. So it's a British make. So they make them in small numbers. Oh yeah, that's all right. Okay, these are yeah, that's a British brand as well. No, not at all, not at all. Nice to meet you. Characterful. That's nice, isn't it? It's lovely to hear that. I love that. It's part of a British town that sort of, it's alive almost. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Well, does he go on YouTube at all? Yes. We're called Mr. Darcy and the Old Man on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be doing a full review of both of these. Yes. So front to back on this Bobber, I mean, the whole thing is absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you start at the front, you've got a nice beefy front tyre. These have got Avon Cobra tyres on them. Nice tyres. Beautiful wheel, spoked wheel with this polished metal look. Absolutely stunning. Lovely looking brakes, single disc on the front and single on the rear. Stopping power is excellent on this. Got a lot of carbon fibre, so carbon fibre front mudguard with this lovely metal bracket. it could be bigger. We prefer bigger front mud guards. I think this bike would really suit a nice big front mud guard actually. But I wonder if CCM would do that for you if you said, oh, I want a big one, whether they would make that for you. You've got a carbon fibre headlight cover on the top here with some mesh in there. It's a good, cool looking front of the bike. Lovely upside down forks. These are Moschina forks, so they're Italian, and they're in this lovely silver finish, which looks fantastic. They're not in anodized gold. Might have to wait a minute. Half 3. The speedometer is much nicer than the previous design of the CCMs. Not that I've seen it in person, but after seeing a few videos, it was sort of a square digital speedometer, which wasn't very sophisticated. It was rather sort of looked like an afterthought. This one's much nicer, but to be honest with you, this is a sort of bike where you don't really need any tech. So I think an analog dial would really suit this bike. Let us know what you think in the comments below, but I don't think it needs a digital one. But that's just me. As they go, it's quite a nice round circular design. This handlebar clamp is very nice, machined metal, beautiful, lovely wide bars, bar end mirrors, which are nice. I like bar end mirrors. You can see most of the road behind you. They've got a nice sort of blue tint to them, which I quite like. Now, when you start the bike up, you've got this little lever just above the clutch lever, and you sort of have to pull that in. It's not a choke because this is fuel injected, but it sort of opens up the throttle, so it almost is like you're doing a cold start manually. So it'll keep the revs up, and then after maybe 10 or 20 seconds you can let go of that gradually and let it come down to normal RPM revs. So unlike a lot of modern bikes where it does that for you, you do that, but that's quite nice because it's quite involving. It makes you more part of the machine. Rather than an ordinary key, this bike has a small key for the steering lock, but it then has this little fob, and you tap this on a little sensor in between the frame on the side, and then the ignition comes on, and then you can start the bike. Now, part of me likes the idea, but I think for the money you're spending on the bike, they could have maybe wrapped that in leather or something and made it look a little bit more premium, because it is a, you know, little cheap plastic fob, almost like something you might get to go and scan yourself in at the gym or something. But the old man doesn't like it at all. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a key up here, is there? Or even a normal key down there. But I think this could just be finished a little bit nicer, and then I might like it a bit more. Now, the tank is a really nice design. It's really beautiful, and it's made of a composite nylon. I've never seen a fuel tank made of that, so it's almost like plastic, but means it's very light, but it's strong as well. The fuel cap design is a little bit weird. You have to press it in, twist it, and then it comes up. Once you get the hang of it, it's okay, but it's a little bit fiddly at first, but it's perfectly fine. Perhaps it could be finished a little bit nicer, but not that much of an issue. The frame is very good looking. It's a real key feature of the bike. It's a standout feature. The engine is good looking, and as I said, sounds fantastic. We'll go on to the performance figures in a moment. Love these foot pegs here, absolutely stunning. Beautiful bobber style exhaust. This is a stunning red leather seat, quilted leather, beautiful. I mean, that's really nice. Reasonably comfortable, a little bit firm, so I mean, we wouldn't want to go too far, but for shortish journeys, it's perfectly fine. Again, when you come to the back end, this is a really nice carbon fibre mudguard. This one's a bit more coverage. I'm perfectly happy with that. So that one's really nice. You've got a beautiful rear disc there, very nice. This whole back swing arm is a really nice design, and then you've got this sort of bracket that comes on the back to hold our windsail number plates that we have to have in the UK. It's a shame, isn't it? It does spoil the look of the bike, but perhaps if you got a small black and white one, that would make it much better. Now, I am 6'1", and this is what I look like on the Bobber. So it's actually really the cobblestones are not very even. It's actually really comfortable. The bars are nice and wide. I'm at a nice length away from the bars. Ugly car going past. But riding position wise, perfectly comfortable. Nice foot position, nice knee bend, no complaints there. Oh, that was cool. Some sort of cruiser Honda looking thing, old bike went past, very nice. But on that note, getting distracted by everything. Start again. Now, I'm 6'1". This is what I look like on the Bobber. So it's perfectly comfortable in my eyes. Nice foot position, lovely bar position. My back is not aching after a while, so perfectly comfortable for someone over 6 foot. But it's also not that big of a bike. It's actually quite compact when you think about it. So shorter riders would be fine on this bike as well. But as I'm sat on this bike, that means I'm going to have to get off of it and put the side stand down. And this bike has probably got the worst designed side stand I've ever seen on a motorcycle. It's absolutely hopeless. It pings up. It's one of those suicide side stands. So if you don't have hold of it, it pings straight back up. But it's in such an awkward position under the exhaust. And then once you've anchored it from under there, your foot's then not in the right position to get it all the way forward. So it's really hard to get it right. You have to almost balance it on the floor and do a double push. Make sure you got it on there and hope that it's not going to fall over, which I think it's offset there, so it will fall over. But it's absolutely a pain. So CCM, of anything you need to do to change this bike, please change the side stand. Other than that, I absolutely love it.
Now, both these CCMs are prime examples of why you shouldn't buy bikes based on specs on paper, because whatever is written, it doesn't feel like it. It's got 55 horsepower and it's got 55 Newton meters of torque at 5,500 RPM, but it only weighs 135 kilos, which is very, very light indeed. And it goes like stink. So if you didn't know that, you'd say, God, it must have about 80, 90 horsepower. So it really feels powerful. So don't just go by specs, go by what people say in reviews who know what they're talking about, because you cannot get an impression of a bike just by reading paper. Now, if you're thinking about buying one of these, it's from 12,799 to 15,699, depending on how you spec the bike, because they're very highly specable. You can pretty much put whatever you want on them, so you can bring the price right up if you want to, or down as low as you want if you want it basic. So it's a sort of bike you can choose the bits on it to make it your own and personalise it.
Occasionally, this bike will cut out at low RPM, so perhaps when you come up to a traffic light and you're sat there, you come down through the gears into first, sometimes it cuts out. And that's largely to do with the fact that this has got a very high compression engine. It feels more like a racing engine, like a racing motocross engine, than it does a normal road bike engine. So, to summarise the CCM Bobber, this is a bike that I've really bonded with actually. It's got oodles of character, it's extremely stylish and cool. Everywhere you go with this bike, people will stop and talk to you about it. Any bike meet you go to, I think you'll be sort of booked out for the whole night, because every single person will want to talk to you about it, because it's very unusual. You're not going to see many of them on the road, and my God, is it stunning. Absolutely stunning. It sounds incredible. It goes like stink. It's great fun in the corners. There's not really much to complain about with this bike, apart from the few things that we have done. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.